So guys, welcome to our channel once again. In today's video on our JAMB biology exam revision series, we are going to consider these 20 JAMB repeated questions on transports. So let's go ahead and start with the first question here. It says, a difference between the auricle and the ventricle of the mammalian heart is the A. Walls of the ventricles are more muscular than that of the auricles. B. Ventricles carry deoxygenated blood. C. Auricles have no valves. D. Ventricles do not have outlets. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option A. The walls of the ventricles are more muscular than that of the auricles. So let's look at the next question. Question number 2, it says, which of the following blood vessels carries oxygenated blood away from the heart? A. Venules. B. Arteries. C. Veins. D. Capillaries. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's the arteries. The arteries are the blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart. So I always like to think of it this way. When I say out and I mention arteries, actually they sound similar, out and arteries, whereas the ones that return blood to the heart are the veins. So let's take note of that. The arteries take away blood from the heart, whereas the veins return blood to the heart. So let's look at the next question. Question number 3, it says, blood is made up of dash major components: A. 3, B. 5, C. 2, and D. 4. So guys, the answer to this question is option D, and that's 4. The blood is made up of the red blood cells, which are the erythrocytes, the white blood cells, which are the leukocytes, the platelets, which are the thrombocytes, and then the plasma, which is the liquid portion of the blood. So these are the 4 constituents of the blood. So let's consider the next question, and that's question number 4. It says, in blood transfusion, agglutination occurs when A. white blood cells from 2 individuals meet. B. 2 different antibodies meet. C. 2 different antigens meet. D. Contrasting antigens and antibodies meet. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option D. In blood transfusion, agglutination occurs when contrasting antigens and antibodies meet. So let's look at the next question. Question number 5. It says, what is the tissue responsible for transporting water and minerals from the roots to the rest of the plants? A. Parenchyma. B. Xylem. C. Epidermis. And D. Phloem. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option B, and that's the xylem. The xylem is the tissue that is responsible for transporting water and minerals from the roots of the plant to the rest of the parts of the plant. So guys, let's consider the next question, and that's question number 6. It says, in active transport, molecules move against a concentration gradient. Therefore, A. molecules move from a region of low concentration to a region of high concentration. B. The concentration gradient has little effect on the movement of molecules. C. Molecules move from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. And D. Molecules force their ways through spatial membrane. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option A. In active transport, molecules move against a concentration gradient, and this interpreted means that the molecules move from a region of low concentration to a region of high concentration. So when molecules move from the point where they are in low concentration to the point where they are in high concentration, we'll call that movement a movement that is against their concentration gradient, because a movement that is in line with the concentration gradient should be in a manner that molecules move from where they are in high concentration to where they are in low concentration. But when it goes against this rule, it's against the concentration gradient, and that's what is often seen in active transport. So guys, this is the correct answer to this question, and that's option A. So let's consider the next question. Question number 7. It says, which of the following statements about the heart is true? A, the heart is a muscular organ that contracts to circulate blood throughout the body. B, the heart receives blood from the kidney and filters waste products. C, the heart is responsible for the production of red blood cells. D, the heart pumps oxygenated blood to the lungs. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option A. The heart is a muscular organ that contracts to circulate blood throughout the body. So let's consider the next question. Question number 8. It says, which component of blood is responsible for carrying oxygen to the body tissues? A, plasma. B, white blood cells. C, platelets. D, red blood cells. So guys, the components of blood responsible for carrying oxygen to the body tissues is the red blood cells, and that's because the red blood cells has a protein called hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin binds with oxygen that comes into the lungs, and then the oxygen is being carried with the help of this hemoglobin on the red blood cells and then taken to various tissues in the body. So let's consider the next question, and that's question number 9. It says, a circulatory system that does not allow mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in mammalian heart is referred to as A, hemocylic. B, open. C, single. D, closed. So guys, the answer to this question is option D, and that's closed. A closed circulatory system does not allow the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in the heart. So let's consider the next question. The phloem parenchyma is sometimes used for A, production of the sieve tube. B, supporting the stem. C, supporting water. D, food storage. So guys, the answer to this question is option D, and that's food storage. The phloem parenchyma, also known as transverse cells and border parenchyma, are located near the finest branches and termination of sieve tubes in leaf veinlets. So their function is to transport food in these places. So however, their primary function is to store food materials such as starch, fats, and other substances. So let's consider the next question. That's question number 11. It says, the phloem tissues is made up of A, sieve tubes and companion cells. B, xylem vessels. C, wood parenchyma. And D, tracheids and wood fibers. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's sieve tubes and companion cells. So let's consider the next question. Question number 12. It says, the blood component that has greatest affinity for oxygen is the A, thrombocytes. B, erythrocytes. C, lymphocytes. And D, leukocytes. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's the erythrocytes. Erythrocytes are the red blood cells, and that's the blood component that has the greatest affinity for oxygen. So let's consider the next question, guys. Question number 14. It says, which of the following substance passes through the root cell membrane by osmosis? A, water. B, oxygen. C, cell sap. D, carbon dioxide. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's water. So when we hear osmosis, we should have known already that the substance here involved in this transport is water, because osmosis is basically the movement of water molecules, right? So let's take note of that. The answer to this question is option A, and that's water. Osmosis is actually the movement of water molecules from the region where water is in high concentration to the region where water is in low concentration until equilibrium is attained, and this is done via a semi-permeable membrane. So guys, let's look at the next question, and that's question number 15. It says a plant tissue that carries water and mineral salts is the A, phloem, B, cortex, C, cambium, and D, xylem. So guys, the answer to this question is option D, and that's the xylem. So let's look at the next question. Question number 16. It says in mammals, the exchange of nutrients and metabolic products occurs in the A, lymph, B, trachea, C, lungs, D, esophagus. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's the lymph. So let's consider the next question. Question number 17. It says dash aids blood clotting. A, vitamin D, B, vitamin C, C, vitamin K, and D, vitamin A. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's vitamin K. The vitamin K plays a role in helping the blood to clot. So this helps to prevent excessive bleeding. So let's look at the next question, and that's question number 18. It says serum differs from blood plasma because it A, contains blood cells and fibrinogen, B, lacks blood cells and albumin, C, contains soluble food and mineral salts, D, lacks the blood protein fibrinogen. So guys, the answer to this question is option D, and that's lacks the blood protein fibrinogen. The serum differs from the blood plasma because of the absence of fibrinogen and other clotting factors. So it is a component of the blood that is obtained after allowing the blood to clot and removing the clots. So this part actually lacks the blood protein fibrinogen, which is a clotting factor in the blood. So let's consider the next question. Question number 19. It says the process by which a red blood cell placed in distilled water absorbs water until it bursts and releases its contents into the surroundings is known as A, plasmolysis, B, hemolysis, C, turgidity, D, osmosis. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's hemolysis. Hemolysis is the process by which the red blood cells get stiff after receiving so much of water, and they have to burst and release their contents into the surrounding. So that situation is known as hemolysis. This is actually always due to endosmosis, due to the fact that water is constantly moving into the cell. So this usually occurs when the red blood cell is in a hypotonic solution. Water always leaves the surrounding and enters into the red blood cell until the red blood cell is no longer able to bear it, and then it gets burst and releases its contents into the surrounding. So guys, let's look at the next and the last question, and that's question number 20. It says unicellular organisms transport essential nutrients directly to all parts of their bodies by the process of diffusion because they have A, a large surface area to volume ratio, B, their body is immersed in the nutrients, C, a large volume of surface area ratio, and D, their outer membrane made of cellulose. So guys, the answer to this question is option A. Unicellular organisms actually have a large surface area to volume ratio, and that's what essentially makes them transport nutrients directly to all the parts of their body by the process of diffusion. So guys, this will be the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not yet a subscriber. Also, ensure to share this video with your friends to enable us reach out to more people. If you have any specific question regarding this video, please drop your question on the comment section below and we'll ensure to give you a response. Don't forget to join our channel membership in order to get premium information regarding your JAMB. That's very important. You can take that action now in order to start getting premium information regarding your JAMB. See you on the next video.